Good morning children, welcome to the online classes for the 8th period of 9th standard, that is the remaining part related to the medieval India and the political transition. So in the earlier class we have studied about the point related to the Khilji dynasty, and we have studied the point related to the administrative reforms, military reforms and the market reforms made at the period of the Khilji dynasty, and at the end we have seen the end of the Khilji dynasty. This brings the changes in the Delhi kingdom. So that time the new dynasty was arise after the Khilji dynasty. That dynasty name is going to be called as the Tughlaq dynasty, and this dynasty became very famous. It was ruled for 1320 to the 1399. It means it was ruled for the 79 years, since from 1320 to the 1399. So it is ruled for the how many years? 79. It means a long period was ruled by the Tughlaq dynasty due to the powerful rulers we are going to see in this dynasty. But before going to know the details related to the different kings ruled for the Tughlaq dynasty, we must have the knowledge what kind of changes, what they have contributed, what they have get the changes, and who founded this dynasty. So this dynasty was founded by the person by the name Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. So this Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq has founded the dynasty by the name Tughlaq dynasty to get the control over the Delhi, and that time this Ghiyasuddin became the Sultan for the Delhi. Now when he was founded this dynasty, that time we are going to see the dynasty was maintaining peace and order in the kingdom. It was the Delhi. That period we are going to see a lot of peace and order was developed in this administration, and having the important implications of the policies were followed in this period. Different implications of policies, new changes made, new policies brought to get the development of their administration in this period. And he has bordered the kingdom to get the prevention from the other kingdoms. They have constructed the borders for the kingdom to get the prevention of their kingdoms, or giving the security to the people belongs to his kingdom. That type of new change was made. So this is the fort, and this is the border made by this Tughlaq dynasty to get the security. And this time even we are not finding the only security given to the people belongs to this area, but also they have made the achievements, they have made the development toward the agriculture side. Even the agriculture development also we are going to see with the irrigational facilities. So you know the well about the meaning of irrigation. It means alternative source of water supply was we are going to see in the period of this Tughlaq dynasty in India. And in this period we are going to see the establishment of a new policy. Already we have seen in the Khilji dynasty the horse system, or selling the horse system was there in the market reforms of the Khilji dynasty. So in the same way in the Tughlaq dynasty also we are finding the post of consisting of the horsemen and the runners. The competition system was started among the people belongs to this Tughlaq dynasty regarding some people are giving the training for the horse ridings, and some people are giving the training for the horse runners. So different trainings were started in the Tughlaq dynasty for their administrative development, and first time we are going to see this Tughlaq dynasty has started to build the fort in Delhi. So it was started to build the fort in the Delhi, and this period we are going to see they have conquered the many places. They have invaded the many places. The places like Madurai, Warangal, and the main 10 law ordered toward the Gujarat side. Actually, the part of northwestern was ruled by the Delhi Sultanate, but in the Tughlaq period or in the Tughlaq dynasty, we are going to see they have spreaded their role, or they have spreaded their rule toward the southern part of India, toward the Madurai, that is in Tamil Nadu, and the Warangal of Andhra Pradesh, and some part of Gujarat also ruled by the Tughlaq dynasty in this period. And he again went toward the eastern part, that is the Bengal side. So it means totally the Tughlaq dynasty was ruled from north to south and west to east. Almost all the power gained by this dynasty in the 79 years. So by this way, we are going to see many rulers have ruled for this dynasty in the 79 years, but among that, we are going to see the very important persons who have ruled for this dynasty were Muhammad bin Tughlaq and the Firoz Tughlaq, who was the last ruler of this dynasty. So, actually Muhammad bin Tughlaq is going to be called as one of the best ruler for this Tughlaq dynasty. That today we are going to get the idea related to a person or the life story of Muhammad Tughlaq and what were the changes he has made in his administration, that we are going to learn in the next point. So, come to the point of next details related to the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So, the next point is the point related to a famous person related to the Tughlaq dynasty by the name Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Now, Muhammad bin Tughlaq was going to be called as one of the best scholar. He was an important person who has given some contribution toward the development of this Tughlaq dynasty. Why? Because he was called as a scholar of Persian and the Arabic languages. Well known the two languages, one is the Arabic language and another one is the Persian language, and he has written many books related to this languages. And one side, this person, not only the scholar related to the languages, but this person also going to be called as a person having the expertness. He was expert in mathematics, physics, medicine, Persian, poetry, astronomy, and some other subject related to that particular point. So it means in the every part, the person by the name Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very expert. In the part of astronomy, in the part of the medicine, in the part of the mathematics, in the part of physics, he knowledge, having the knowledge, and that person become the king for Tughlaq dynasty. So that time he got lot of achievements in this period, and by this person, through he was a man of having the knowledge, he had a few abnormalities in his personality. But every knowledge was there. A good person having the good knowledge, many types of efforts are there, skills were there, but some abnormalities were finding in this personal life of the Muhammad Tughlaq. So, the weaknesses, some weaknesses we are going to see. And these weaknesses made him unsuccessful at the end. So, he is having a lot of knowledge, but some abnormal few things were there in this personal problems. Now, due to this problem, he was thinking ahead of the time after the centuries ahead. So, after doing the work, when he is going to get the problem, then afterwards he was going to think that I have not done well for this point. These are some abnormalities we are going to see in this person. So, by this way, one side he was becoming a successful person, but one side due to the abnormalities he was failed to complete the rule in India after a long period, and he was become failure. Now we can take as a normal person, as a ideologist, as a knowledgeful person. He has made lot of administrative reforms, lot of different reforms were made in this period when he was ruled for the Delhi. Many changes were made by this person in the different fields. So that we are going to learn in the next topic, that is called as the administrative reforms made by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So next point is the administrative reforms. So administrative reforms means the changes or the reformation made in the period of when Muhammad bin Tughlaq ruled for the Tughlaq dynasty. There we are going to see the first point is he has made the change toward the revenue reforms, the collection of taxes. So what he made changes in this period? A official record that had all the details of the lands of the empire were implemented by him. So they have started to maintain the records, official record related to the land belong to this kingdom, and according to that kingdom, according to this, they are going to collect the taxes by keeping the officers to this administration. That was developed in the Muhammad bin Tughlaq period. A new establishment, he established the Department of Agriculture also. One side we are going to see the reformation toward the revenue, it means the collection of taxes. That change was made by him. On one side he was made the changes for the development of agriculture. He was developed the Department of Agriculture. Department of Agriculture was developed in this period to get the changes in the agriculture side, because agriculture was the economic source for this dynasty. So that changes we are going to see. And another change at the period of this person was the uncultivated lands were made cultivated. So the land which is not suitable for the cultivation, that land was also made for the side to get the cultivated land. So it means the westland was used for cultivation. That changes made in the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So see what kind of reformation made by this person, and various schemes were also implemented by this person by giving the financial support to the people belongs to this kingdom. He was started to give the financial support and giving support to this agriculture farmers. He was getting the development toward the economic source related to the Tughlaq dynasty. But the farmers of Doab had to pay higher land taxes during his time. The people who belongs to the Doab area, so Doab means who are living nearby the Ganga river, at the border of the Ganga river, because in nearby this area we are finding the good fertility of land. So these people have to pay more taxes to the Tughlaq dynasty, because somewhere we are finding the fertility land and somewhere they are not finding the fertile. The fertile land people, farmers should pay the more taxes, and non-fertile people have to pay the low taxes. These kind of two taxes were followed in this period. So that we are finding the changes made toward the administrative reforms by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So the next point related to the changes made was shifting of capital city. Shifting of capital city by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Shifting of capital city. Shifting of capital by this person. So at the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, we are going to see the capital was changed from Delhi to the Devagiri. He was shifted the capital from Delhi. Actually, the Sultanate capital city was Delhi, but he transferred toward the southern part of India, that to the Devagiri side. So what happened when he was transferred the capital city? Because he wanted to get the center place for his dynasty, and he made Devagiri as the capital city for India. And there are the two reasons regarding the changes of the capital city to move from Delhi to the Devagiri. So it became the center for this vast empire, because he has started to rule from the north to the south, west to the east. So he thought that Devagiri will become the center point for the vast kingdom to rule in the easy way. And another point, the capital city from foreign, and this capital city, when we are going to live in the center point, it will give the security from the foreign inventions, because many times we have seen the Mongolians were coming toward the India to invade the Delhi Sultans. Some other foreign kings also visiting toward the India. So to get the security, these are the two reasons he has transferred the capital city from the Delhi to the Devagiri side. So one is the center point of the kingdom, and second one is the to get the security from the foreign inventions. So through the plan was very good to get the changes of capital city, but proper precautions were not taken at the time of implementation of this capital city. When he was shifted the capital city, he was not followed the proper type of precautions. How? Because as a result, numerable common people suffered severely. So what kind of precautions he did not follow? So that time, come to the history of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, this person was changed not only the capital city, but he had changed the total public related to the Delhi was shifted toward the Devagiri. What kind of things related to the, except the land, everything was brought with the common people toward the Devagiri, and Devagiri people have to take toward the Delhi. So, due to the migration of the people belongs to the particular area, it become very problematic for this Tughlaq dynasty. So, you can take the example of these Devgiri people has to come toward the Delhi, and Delhi people has to go toward the Devgiri with the all basic things having these people. Even the animals or what was there with them, all were migrated from Delhi to Devgiri and Devgiri to the Delhi. This migration has made lot of support to the common people, and due to this, the people belongs to this kingdom have suffered more. Now next, we are going to see the point related to the changes made in the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq was experiment of the symbolic coins. The new achievement was made in this period, that is experiment of the symbolic coins. So, the next point is the experiment of the symbolic coins. So, he has made the changes toward the coins also. You know that in the last point, in the Khilji dynasty, we have seen the circulation of the gold coins, and the circulations of the coins in this period. But at the period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, or the Tughlaq dynasty also, we are finding the circulation of the coin, but the value of coin was changed in the period of this Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So, what the value made for these coins is, the value of currency was adjusted to the value of gold and the silver coins in the circulation of the time of period Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So, it had made the equal, the value of currency was made adjusted to the value of gold and silver coins, and he also brought gold coins named with the new names by dinar, by the name dinar. And the next one coin he was developed this period was Adli. Hadley in the circulation in the period of this Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Which coin? One is the dinar and second one is the Adli. Dinar was the coin and Adli. These are the two coins we are going to find circulated by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. And this person is going to be called as he was the coins were aesthetically designed. It was designed in the different way. It was designed in the new symbolic type. After a few years, the copper and brass coins also circulated in the period of the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and they were also brought into the circulation of the symbolic changes. So, every coins having the different symbol. You can take the example of present coins. So, some coins we are going to see the photos of the different persons or the personalities related to the freedom fighters of India. So, like that way, the coins were changed according to the symbol related to that particular period, and earlier we are going to see only the gold and the silver coins, but later he had made the brass and the copper coins also circulated in this period with the new symbolic points. And then the minting of coins was not wasted with the government alone. So, see here, minting means the printing of coins or making printed by the coins from an authority person. Then this minting coins was not wasted with the government. It was not discussed with the government. It was discussed with the only king. And the families in this period who had traditional right to mint the coins were also, or they are also only permitted to mint the coins. So, every person was not going to print or making the coins, but some particular persons who is having the knowledge related to the or who belongs to the these families only have given the permission to mint the coins, not to the other people. That was system followed in this period, and the coins were minted more than the required number without the permission of the Sultan. He was to be going to be punished. So the limitation was made by the Sultans. According to the limitations only, they have to be produced, they have to be print the coins, and this resulted in the chaos that they are getting the punishment. The state treasury become empty due to the costly administrative experiment made by this Tughlaq dynasty of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So at the end, he was not finding any kind of treasury or the taxes or the cash in their treasury due to the non-circulation of the requirement of the cash. The dynasty came to be an end. Now they are not finding any kind of money in the treasury because this treasury become empty due to the many experiments made by the whom? Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So that is called as the experiments of the symbolic coins. Different coins were produced in this kingdom, and this served the drought of shifting of the capital city, the process of relocating the capital back, and other measures. So again, what happened? Earlier he was changed from the Delhi to Devgiri, but due to the shortage of treasury now, again this was shifted from Devgiri to the Delhi by this person due to the failure of his experiment followed in the Devgiri area. So again he came to be changed the Devgiri. Lastly we are going to see Delhi was remained as the capital city with the loss of Tughlaq dynasty. Now the last point we are going to see in this Muhammad bin Tughlaq, that is called as the Deccan policy. What was the changes he made toward the Deccan side? That is called as the Deccan policy. So what is this Deccan policy? We are going to find in the period of Tughlaq dynasty. So this Muhammad bin Tughlaq has implemented his administration in the areas conquered by him in the Deccan places. So the center point of India, he was continued his rule, and that was implemented with the new changes made by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and he had started to get the conquest toward the Warangal, the capital of Kakatiyas. He made the attack toward the Deccan side, that to the Warangal side. It is coming in the Andhra Pradesh present, and that time Kakatiyas were ruling in this area, and this was occupied by the whom? Muhammad bin Tughlaq. That changes made it toward this Deccan side. And another point, he also destroyed, at the end, he also destroyed the Dwarasamudra. You know the Dwarasamudra, the capital city of Hoysala. Again, he looted or he destroyed the Dwarasamudra, which is the capital city of Hoysala. And lastly, we are going to see he entered toward the Madras side to conquer and to loot the treasury, that is from the Madurai side. So see, in the Deccan side we are going to see three places were destroyed by the Muhammad bin Tughlaq for the purpose of getting the wealth. One is Varangal. One is Varangal. Another one is Dwara Samudra, and last one is the Madurai. So these all were destroyed by this person for the personal gaining of wealth. By this way, we are going to see the Tughlaq dynasty came to be an end after some time. That time, the person who belongs to this area, who was ruled towards the Varangal, Dwarasamudra and the Madurai was Jalaluddin. So Jalaluddin, Hasan Shah was named as the governor, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the first Delhi Sultan to establish the vast empire in India, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq organized a big army, and there was a very tremendous changes or 27 rebellions in the South India during the his last 11 years rule. These rebellions led to the rise of Vijayanagara and the Bahmani kingdom. Also, what happened when he was started to get the rule toward the southern part of India? We are finding rebellions means the enemies. There are 11 enemies we are going to see in this period who are against to this Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and these rebellions have developed a new kingdom by the name Vijayanagara and the Bahmani kingdom, that we will study in the remaining next classes. So by this way, the kingdom came to be an end. So later we are going to see, after the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the next persons who came to power in the Tughlaq dynasty were Firoz Shah Tughlaq. So this Firoz Shah Tughlaq is going to be called as who? Firoz Shah Tughlaq is going to be called as the later rulers who fought after the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and he also having the good programs to make the friendly relations with the other rulers, but he waived off the Takavi loans for the benefit of his subjects, and he paid the compensation to the victims of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and invasions, the private mines used to take, and also taxes were collected for providing the irrigation facilities by this Firoz Shah, and he abolished around 20 different taxes along with these two taxes. By this way, he was become very weak, and that time when he was the ruler for this dynasty, he was developed many types of forts in this period. He built many cities, mosques, madrasas, dams, irrigational canals, Jaunpur, Fatehbad, Hisar, Firozpur, Firozabad were the important few places we are going to see, which was built at the period of this Muhammad bin Tughlaq and the Firoz Shah. And Jaunpur was the famous learning center which was developed at the Dharmashalas built by the travelers to give the benefit for the common people belongs to this area. By this way, we are going to come to the end of the Tughlaq dynasty with the Firoz Shah, who is the last ruler for this dynasty. So today I will complete this topic, but here itself the remaining topic I will continue in the next class, that is the Sayyid dynasty and the Lodi dynasty. Thank you.